Why is nature so important? Why do we care about it? Thousands of years ago, we started moving away from the forest and started building cities. Today, we only need nature for food and water and raw materials to build. Do we? Nature is far more than that, and in today's world, it is important that we still have wild nature that we can easily access. Without it, our minds would slowly darken, and we would tumble into an ever-turning spiral of depression. Nature helps us. There are numerous studies that prove that nature is far more important to us than we thought. Stanford researchers have enough evidence that walking in nature could lower the risk of depression. As more and more of the world's population start living in urban settings, the cases of mental disorders such as depression have grown dramatically. Nature is our root that keeps us in place and helps us stay intact with the growing pressure of the gray and monotone cities. Furthermore, while skyscrapers get taller and taller, stress levels are also increasing. The modern world expects the 21st century human to complete more work in a shorter time with better results. Stress levels are often underestimated. Stress can promote diseases, physically damage your heart muscle, weaken your immune system, and can lead to long-term disability. These stress levels often go down when you force yourself to spend time in nature. This calms your brain and helps you focus on your tasks. Nature is not only mentally beneficial, but also has more physical effects. Trees filter air pollution and thereby prevent $7 billion in health costs every year. Nature is also a natural-born cooler. Vegetation cools the air around them through shading and evapotranspiration. This can considerably lower energy consumption for air conditioning. Urban trees have one more major benefit. Namely, it is a natural carbon storage. Global warming is getting worse and considerable effects are already showing. By taking away trees, global warming is accelerating. However, if nature is preserved and more greenery is planted in the cities, global warming could be slowed down and maybe even halted. Nature is mostly important to us because of the mental benefits. Bernard Hsu is a counseling psychologist and is an expert in the mental effects of nature upon us.
Nature definitely influences you, and it's very apparent in studies that we have. Even there's a branch of psychology known as evolutionary psychology. Evolutionary psychology talks about how the environment actually influences the development of the species in terms of the interaction between the human and the environment and how it actually builds up the psyche of the human race. Okay, the influence of nature in Singapore is definitely strong. That's why whenever foreigners that come to our country, you can see that the first thing they are very impressed with, they have planted tons of trees here. And since our first political leader, Mr. Lee when he was running the country, he already known that the interaction between nature and human is important. And Singapore is very small, we don't have much land, and we don't have much exposure to nature. So our leaders decided to bring in, not say artificial trees, but it's planned, it's very well planned environment for Singapore. Nature in terms of well-preserved nature versus man-made, definitely there's a lot of difference. Man-made nature, no matter how you're going to plant the plants, or how, no matter where you put the plants in terms of whatever good intentions we have, it might not be as good as a nature that has been there for centuries. Alright? In psychological perspective, for example, nature that is well preserved, alright, and it's not touched by human. When humans visit this natural reserve, they will feel themselves more relaxed. Alright, they feel themselves that together with nature. Even evolutionary psychology has touched on that says that human and nature, we cannot separate one from the other, especially natural nature. we're talking about.
As Bernard Hsu said, there is a big difference between wild nature, which you can see in nature reserves such as the Bukitima Nature Reserve or McRitchie, and man-made or artificial nature. Artificial nature still consists of plants and trees, which can also be found in the wild nature, but they are being controlled. They are often in cemented blocks that deter any more growth of the plants, and weeds and unwanted grass is also harshly removed. Therefore, one can imagine this nature to be more in a cage than in the wild. Artificial nature does have its advantages, as mentioned in the first episode, but has not such a big effect on people than wild nature does. This is why we still need primary nature in our modernizing world. A survey sent to citizens in Singapore all have similar answers. Nature is an important part in their lives. Over half of the people asked think that nature and mankind live together in harmony, while 40% only feel that they live in harmony in some parts in Singapore. Yet many still feel like there is not enough nature. Overall, almost 70% of the people surveyed spend 1 to 2 times a week, while 8% even spend 2 to 3 times a week in nature. All of them believe that nature has an influence on their actions, health, happiness, and mindset, with 30% saying it has a very big influence. 85% of the people interviewed have also said that artificial nature has a different effect upon them than wild nature. It also shows that nature has a big effect on everyone walking this earth and is fundamentally important to us. Singapore is a two-sided island of amazing contrast that seem to easily blend together. Right under the noses of high-rise buildings lies untouched nature, available in the whole spectrum of color. It is amazing that over the years this majestic example of the very beginning of life has still stayed intact. Singapore has achieved this by forming the URA, Urban Redevelopment Authority. The URA had the power to change how Singapore looks. They created new systems where humans can live and work. Yet the URA still had in mind that humans also need to relax and want to enjoy life. This they created not only by building fun places, but by keeping nature intact and enabling the citizens to visit those places without destroying it. This was how the first nature reserves were formed. The URA also worked closely together with different architecture firms to put the beauty of nature into each building. One of these buildings is Park Royal and has showed the world how nature and mankind can easily blend in together without a stark contrast. However, building up Singapore with the ever-increasing number of immigrants has taken a strong toll on Singapore's nature, with many native animals now endangered or extinct. Furthermore, wild nature cannot be brought back by placing it into concrete blocks on the backs of nature's enemy.